So, Amit, we do have another question.
Sure.
So, the question is actually, it's two questions. How does this system work with developmental math and with adult learners?
That's a great question. I mean, isn't that a fantastic spectrum? We have developmental math that could be taken by anyone, whether they are fresh out of school or whether many times we see our students going out ROTC, they are doing things, they have gone back, gone to the industry, done something, and come back for their education and are adult learners, or they're just retooling themselves to get a better degree to move ahead in their careers. Fundamentally, the system does not differentiate between the age or where they are. It purely works off of what the student shows through their interaction with the content. And it allows the student to be at their own pace and not feel overwhelmed with what they need to do. Because I can understand certainly sometimes, and that's specific to adult learners, I've seen that in my own class, that it is a while that they had taken a math course, and it's not easy for them to just get into the thick and thin of it and be able to just go off on it. But with Stemify, since it covers a gamut of concepts right from pre-algebra and how to write numbers on a number line for all that matters, and how the order of operation works, it really can ease the student into that uh, state of mind where they are now ready to interact with math again and take the fear out. So the whole point here is to actually take that fear out and put it away in a way where we use their strengths to help with their weaknesses.
Okay, thank you for answering that question. So, another question that's come up, and it's kind of combining a series of questions, is we've covered how the University of Connecticut has addressed the higher DFW rates, sort of in broad, like conceptual terms. And perhaps, Nick, this would be an opportunity for you to jump in to answer some of these questions. Can you show us exactly what the students are going to see when they're in Stemify, and then maybe illustrate how faculty can use these analytics to be actionable and really help these students be successful in STEM?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I know we're still sort of a little bit over here. So I'll do that, Laura, sort of at a high level. And I would sort of echo what Lisa has said. If there's interest in going a little bit deeper in a demonstration, obviously reach out to Laura, and we're happy to do so at any time. Also, Amit, Lisa, Laura, thank you. Great content. Everything was really engaging, and all the questions that came in were absolutely fantastic. So thank you, everyone, for that. And if you want to, Laura, go ahead and give me control. I can share my screen, and I believe you did that. Excellent. So right now, envision that I am actually logged in as a student, and I log in and land on my general dashboard. So I can see up top and throughout the dashboard, really any and all content, materials, lessons, assignments, assessments that I've been engaged with or assigned to. So you can see my assessments. In this case, I can take a calculus assessment. I've already taken an algebra assessment, both placement assessments in this case. There's some courses that I'm enrolled in through Stemify, through the Stemify platform. And then down below, my personal study plan, which Amit had described just a bit ago. And right off the top, I can take a look at how I performed in the algebra assessment. And you'll be able to see from sort of left to right some score information, essentially the top score for the assessment. In the middle, my course placement, so I can see all the algebra courses in this case that I placed into, highest being college algebra. In my score history, that's represented from most recent to the one that took place quite a while ago. And you can see in this case, early on, might have struggled a little bit with some of the concepts, and the assessment scored a bit lower, scored a 14. And then I would have gone through my personalized study plan. So the series of interactive videos, embedded practice questions, practice assignments, so on and so forth that Amit spoke about earlier. And the result of that was my second attempt on 224, where I scored a 32. So you can see that the idea is to assess, engage with your personalized study plan, interactive videos, assignments, practice questions, and then reassess or retake the placement or diagnostic exam, and benefit from the learnings and mastery of those different concepts and retention of those different concepts. You can see a 32 is not a perfect score, so there's still a little bit of room here for improvement. But my personalized study plan is really laid out in front of me here. You can see 0% on quadratic equations, 50% and 50% on factoring and right triangles. And then I did quite well on all these other concepts throughout. And if I dive into sort of what's remaining, it's going to show me really the remaining content that I've got to go through to truly master quadratic equations. So this is, very familiar look and feel here, a series of videos. And for the purposes of demonstration here, I've sort of set it up so I can kind of skip ahead, and have recently watched the complex plane video here. I'll play just a quick snippet of it to really show you how the student is guided through their personalized study plan, really making it easy for them to engage in all the content. So I'll press play. Didn't get to see much of the video, but you'll see here I can continue. It's going to say, all right, great job. You completed the complex plane video. You've got a series of practice problems right in front of you. And then we're going to get into another video, the number I. So if I press continue, we'll just go out and quickly answer a couple of questions, starting with this one. And I'm just going to kind of scroll through. We can check our answer. I can try again. Check answer. In fact, it's practice, so I'm going to skip. And just for the sake of time, familiar interface, I can get through all 10 questions. I'm going to view my results and continue. I can retake the practice, or I could start the next lesson. And in this case, I will go ahead and start the next lesson and engage with the number I video. And I want to point out a couple things here. Amit spoke quite a bit about the interactivity of the videos. That's both from the presentation style of the teacher, of the instructor, as well as the interactive writing within the board. And when I press play here, there's another thing you'll note down bottom are these embedded questions outlined by these blue markers. So every single video has at least 2 embedded questions. And you can see Lane, in this case here, writing on the board, again, engaging the audience, and you see, information laid out on the screen quite nicely. So she's going to transition to the embedded question here. I'm going to actually answer this incorrectly and hit submit. And it says, you're wrong. And just like Amit mentioned earlier, all these videos and embedded questions are tagged with a specific concept and a specific point in the video where we actually go back and review that concept. So I'm going to click show me, and you can tell it brings me back to the certain point. It does not start me over at the beginning of the video, so on and so forth. So again, really trying to tie concepts to the questions themselves. And that is a look at sort of, again, the high-level view of the students' overall interaction with the platform, how they performed on an assessment, and how they engage in their personalized study plan. I'm going super fast here. I know we are over time. We could spend quite a bit more time here, but I do want to acknowledge that we're just a couple minutes to the top of the hour. So I'm going to pause there and hand it back to Laura. And again, happy to keep going, but I just want to hand it back to Laura.
Hey, Nick, thanks.